Hey, hey, hey. You know what time it is. It is noontime. At least it is noontime where I'm at. Yes. So, as you see on the screen, it says the podcast starts at 12 p.m. That is 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'm on the East Coast. It's already 12, so we can take that down. And what you guys could do is you can go ahead and tap in. Let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from. And if you are grooving right now with me, with my mellow sounds, I want to let you guys know that the music is by On Cornelius. Yeah, isn't that a cool name? On Cornelius. Just a little story behind that, I'll tell you. He's a DJ and producer that I know here in Flowtown locally, Encore. Always been a real cool guy. He kind of did like a little combo, if I'm getting this right, because this is what it sounds like. We all know Don Cornelius. You know what that Cornelius means. And so he kind of merged that, and we've got On Cornelius, cool guy. And he does like a lot of beats and music. And this one that he did for me, it is right on. It is spot on. He typically hits what I want. Keep the Faith with Tori is here already. Good afternoon. She's from Darlington, South Carolina. Darlington. They call it D-Town. Some people call it Dollar Town. Now, I don't know why they call it Dollar Town, but you know, that's for the Darlington people to let me know. But she's definitely grooving. She says, good afternoon to everybody, Darlington, and she's definitely grooving. She also says Encore is dope. Yeah, I didn't know you knew Encore, but I should have known that you knew him, Tori. Keep the Faith with Tori says Encore is dope. Definitely he is. So here's what we're going to do before we get into our conversation, because we're going to be talking about the little things. In today's world, what really matters, you know, that we're living in this social media driven world right now. Do the little things still matter? We're going to talk about that. All right. But before we do that, let's do what we always do. Let's take that moment for ourselves. We've already had a busy day, a busy morning. We want to come back and recenter. So let's do a little breathing. We're going to inhale to the count of 4. We're going to hold that a few seconds. Then we will exhale to the count of 4 and hold that a few seconds. And then we're going to just repeat that a few times. And if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and do it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold a few seconds. One more time. Inhale. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Shake it off. Yeah. Noontime, my time. So before you get into that lunch, before you do anything else, take the time for yourself first. Recenter, recalibrate. I don't want you trying to digest any of your food. No, do not try to eat and digest any food if you are under any high stress or high anxiety. Let it go, release. Take that time back. That person who kind of pissed you off a little bit in the office this morning, we just breathed that right on out. Yes, we did. All right, let's get into the show. I was thinking about what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, right? And I said, we're living in such a social media, news-driven society, world at this time. We really are. Everybody's either online or everybody's in front of a screen. Excuse me, my voice is doing a little something here this morning. And it's not really morning, it's noon, but my voice is doing something. The reason why I say morning is because it's sounding like a morning voice. Let me drink some water. So what I really wanted to know, because I had been thinking about it, I said, what's really important right now? What truly matters in today's social media driven world? What matters in this society? Do the little things still matter? I remember there was a time when people thought and said that, it's the little things that matter. Do people still believe that? Because embracing the little things in life can make a big difference in your overall happiness and well-being. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives and everything going on in the news and on social media, but taking a moment to appreciate the small pleasures can bring us to a sense of joy and a sense of gratitude. Whether it's savoring a cup of tea in the morning or enjoying a sunset, these things remind us to slow down. Because we need to be reminded sometimes. They remind us to slow down and appreciate the beauty in our lives. It allows us to look at the things and the people around us. And that also includes your pets and it includes your plants. Those little things. Have people lost the sense of whether or not small things or those little things matter? Keep the Faith with Tori says, I still believe that. So do I. I absolutely do. Some examples I feel like of little things, or at least little things to me, right? Or some things like just feeling appreciated by my family and people around me. Something simple like a hug from your kid, or a hug from someone who really appreciates you. A good cup of coffee if that's your thing. If that's your thing, a good cup of coffee, it might sound like a small thing, and it is, but it can mean something to you. A beautiful sunset, or stepping out to look at the night sky. Your favorite or a cozy blanket. That's one of those little things. Even a kind gesture, a hello, a smile from a stranger is one of those little things that can make a difference in your day. A phone call from a loved one. You might be into a good book, a delicious meal, a walk in nature, even a good night's sleep. We don't think about that. But those are very important things, little things, that really make a big difference in our lives. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are some of the little things in your life that you really appreciate? Some little things that make you look at things differently. What are some of those things for you guys? Because oftentimes I feel like little things are overlooked. It's very easy to overlook those things because we're just too busy with everything else going on, with all of the screens, our phones, our iPads, our computers, our TVs. It's from one after the other. I've been in homes where I've seen people, they'll have a TV on, they'll be on their phone, all of these things at the same time. I'm like, okay, so you've got media coming at you from all different directions. And there's little things that you're not appreciating. And I know this probably happened to you guys, or I know you have seen this happen. If you've gone out to dinner and you happen to see a couple or a family out and everybody's on their social media device. It's crazy, right? Even the kids, you'll see people with kids and they're sitting at the table and they've got iPads or they're on their phones. They're not appreciating those small moments of conversation, just being able to talk to each other. They're already blessed enough to be at this restaurant together as a family, and they're not even appreciating the small thing of conversation. I don't get it. I really don't. I see Drunk here in the building. How you doing? Drunk says, a little thing that I appreciate is just having a flawless day. Dig it. A little thing that you appreciate is having a flawless day. Now, I could go deep with that because I don't even know what makes a flawless day. How's that day flawless? I don't know. Even if it's not flawless, I still like to make the best of it. I absolutely do. Drunk also says that, like, I did what I was supposed to do for the day with no hiccups or no headaches. I got you. Flawless in meaning that he did what he was supposed to do and there were no hiccups and no headaches. Dig it. Definitely, I'm with that. We're talking about the little things in life, those things that people overlook, the things that people take for granted, those things that people are not appreciating. And we got to know that it matters. Why? Why does it matter? Well, here's a few things to me why I think little things matter. I feel like those little things add up. Small positive experiences, they add up, they accumulate, and they have a big impact on your overall life, on your overall mood. It can influence your outlook on life. You know, little things bring us joy. Just by appreciating the simple pleasures in life. Like I said, like a hot cup of tea or that hot cup of coffee or a beautiful sunset, like maybe sitting on your front porch, sitting on your balcony, enjoying some part of nature, doing yard work, your lawn care. That's a little thing that could bring you some joy, you know? Bring you a little bit of joy, a little bit of contentment. Little things, they create memories. Little things also create memories. It's not always the big things. Some of the fondest memories that we have are often associated with little moments and gestures of kindness, small things, just a person smiling at you. As a kid, like, I know one of the simple things, just like a simple ice cream cone or a popsicle, that put a big smile on your face as a kid. An ice cream cone, right? When you heard that ice cream truck coming, listen, that was a big deal. And you remember it. You remember the bell, you remember the sound, you remember it. And I don't have to be a kid to still enjoy the idea of having a simple pleasure of an ice cream or a popsicle. That can still bring a smile to your face as an adult. It absolutely could. And when you do that, it also takes you back to that memory. So we know that small things and small gestures create memories. It's important to embrace small things because being grateful for those little things, they really help us appreciate what we have. You know? Really makes you appreciate what you have and cultivate more of a positive mindset. Right? just remember, it's the little things in life that matter most. They add up. I got some people in the chat. They're in here chatting, having a little conversation with each other. I see that going on here. That's great. I see Drunk here. He says, I took for granted my apartment building having a coffee machine, so I was able to get, wait, what does it say? I took for granted my apartment building having a coffee machine, so I was able to get a cup in the morning. A little thing. One little thing. It matters. It actually makes a difference. It really makes a difference. I see Keep the Faith with Tori here. She says, one of those push-up ice creams. Oh, man. I used to love the push-ups. It had the sherbet in there. That was one of my favorites. One of my favorites. I still kind of like sherbet. And believe it or not, I'm glad that in my younger days, I did appreciate that ice cream, because I ate a lot of ice cream in my day. I can't do it so much now. I can't. As I got older, the lactose doesn't do so well with my body, but I will say this. It created a memory. It did. I enjoyed it. I still have that. It still goes with me, I see Drunk says, management changed and we no longer have a coffee machine. I took it for granted. So when they took that coffee machine out, it's then that you realize that small gesture made a big difference. It's those small things. That's what we're talking about. Like, everybody is, like I said, in the social media driven world, people are looking at the flashy things. They're looking at the big things. The big things, the beautiful people, the traveling, all of the big things. And really, people put the big things, those are a part of their highlight reels. Those are the things that they're putting online. Those are the things that they're showcasing. There has to be some little things in their life that they appreciate. There are things that you are not seeing. So you cannot believe that people's lives is what their Instagram feed looks like. It's just not. It's not. I see Drunk here. He says, this is a good one, MsTonya. You got me thinking deep. Well, I tell you what, thank you. But it's just, again, this is just a little thing to make you think, a little conversation, because conversation is also one of those little things that is very important, that make really big impacts in our lives. We've got to learn to talk to each other, listen to each other. That's a little thing to be to be appreciative of, to have someone who listens. Not all the time do we really want advice. We don't. We want to talk. We want to be engaged in a conversation. And that makes a difference. I see Drunk here. He says, is it just me, or do your topics connect? Soft life, successes, failures, little things. I see you, MsTonya. Okay, well, you know what? Yeah. Intentionally speaking, yes. And I'll tell you why. Because in doing what I'm doing here, I'm not under any false expectation. Like right now, I have two of you guys who are engaged in this conversation with me. And, I want to just say this. I could be doing something that could probably bring a lot more viewers. I have an understanding of what media is like. I know what people tend to gravitate more towards. But those aren't things that I really want to talk about. That's out there. You can get that anywhere. I want to be able to engage with people who are looking to have just a different conversation. And two, I mean, let's be honest, I'm not the only one who is talking about these type of things, but I don't see a lot of people on my timeline or a lot of people who look like me having these type of conversations. When I'm online and when I'm listening to conversations like this, which I absolutely love, not many people look like me. And I was wondering, I'm like, well, why not? And it's I guess because, no one wants to be on talking to two people. People are looking to have numbers. I've been on here when I have really been talking to myself. I have, because maybe someone might watch the replay. They might. And it doesn't take a whole podcast to get a valuable piece of information from. Many times I'll listen to a podcast or go to something on YouTube, and within the first few minutes, 15, 20 minutes, I've already gotten a nugget of something that has really, influenced me in a way that I felt like, what, I didn't think about that like that. Or I'll hear something, I'm like, yeah, I feel that way too. And so that's why I wanted to do this. That's why I felt like it was important for me to do this. And whoever joins me. I do a podcast monthly on the last Sunday of the month, a video podcast with my daughter. It's called The Brown South Girls. And it's a really fun podcast. I enjoy having the conversation with her. And that was a little thing that kind of became a podcast that started out very simple. Us having a conversation, us having conversations in the kitchen. And I don't know necessarily that everybody kind of gets why my background, why I shoot that piece from the kitchen. But that is why, because we always had these conversations sitting at the kitchen table. And while we live in different states and she's an adult now, we're not in the same place, us having conversations is very important. Whether it's a daily conversation or weekly conversation, whenever we get a chance to chat, we talk about some of everything. And that's really where the Brown South Girls came from. All right, I see here Drunk says, okay, I've read that one already. I meant to pull up the other one. Here we go. He says, sometimes we spend so much time trying to figure out others that we don't spend enough time trying to figure out ourselves. Oh, wow. You said something real deep right there. Exactly. We're spending so much time. We're scrolling. We're on other people's pages, thinking that we really know what's going on in their lives. And we're not even spending enough time trying to figure out what's going on in ours. I agree with you, man. Not 100%, but 1,000%. We can up that, And Drunk also says, and I feel like that's what these lunches are helping me do, figure myself out. Wow. Man, you got it figured out. You got some stuff figured out here. I hear your engagement. Because you sometimes catch us on the Brown South Girls. I'm so glad that you found me here, because I always, and so does KJ, we always love when you're in the chat with us. It just really makes for a fun show. Sometimes if you're in the chat, it just makes the entire show for me. It really does. I see that Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, you talk to yourself and keep showing up with consistency. Consistency is key. Tabitha Brown started that way. Oh, wow. Yeah, Tabitha Brown. She's real cool. She's a Carolina girl as well. I like her a lot. She does a podcast also with she does one with her husband. They're really, really funny, really kind of lightweight, fun type of conversations and topics that they tackle. And in that line and in that vein, I like that. That's something that interests me. And we can have conversations about anything. Like I said, the smallest of conversations can change your day. They really can. And the conversation doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Sometimes we need something just a little lightweight. Take some heaviness off of our shoulders. We do. Now, I don't necessarily, well, let me say this. Here's what I'll say. Because I have my moments. I have my moments when I like to watch what I call a little bit of useless TV. And by that, I mean, I'm just watching something that, I'm not really trying to gain anything from. It's just a bit of craziness. It could be some ratchetness. Yeah, I watch some of that, but it doesn't consume my day. It's not something that I do all the time, but I can get in a mood or in a moment where I say, you know what, I just want to watch a little bit of useless TV today, kind of veg out. I've had a busy week, or I just kind of had a hectic few days, and I don't really want to think too much about anything too heavy. And that's fun for me, because at the end of the day, even the ratchet TV is still TV. It's still entertainment. It is. Now, some people take it to different levels. I'm not there. I say once it's on TV, it's entertainment. I treat it like that. I'm not believing any of this stuff. I'm not taking this into my daily life. That's not why I'm watching it. So just one of those little things. Nothing wrong with it. So you guys understand the importance of embracing the little things. Do we need to go back through a few of those things? Do we need to discuss some of those little things? I think you guys got it. Enjoy those things around you. Enjoy that cup of coffee. Enjoy that cup of tea. I like herbal teas. Really, the sun comes shining through your window. Open up the door. Look at it. Step outside. Springtime is coming near. Walk outside on the grass with your shoes off. When you were a kid and you'd run outside and you'd run outside with no shoes on, and your parents would be like, if you don't put some shoes on, well, let me tell you something. Take your shoes off. Get grounded. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we should be doing. Enjoy those little things. Don't let people make you feel bad about anything that you do to kind of give yourself a relief or an exhale. Just like I said, sometimes I watch a little bit of useless TV. I do. I see Tori here. She says, I don't do reality TV, but I tried watching Grown and Gospel last night. See, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. But if it's in line with reality TV, and I'm looking at the title of it saying Grown and Gospel, I can kind of imagine, and I see you got some disappointed faces at the end of that, at the end of your comment. So I don't know, but I can imagine. And like I said, somebody's watching it. There's a market for it. And the same way we click to watch a particular television show or watch a particular video, we can click off. I know that. I'll be sitting here on my podcast and I'll be talking about something and I'll see the numbers at something and I see when people are clicking off. That's fine. They got to go. You got to go and you got to find what's for you. I see Drunk says, he says, sometimes I need a little ratchet TV to bring me back to reality. Exactly. A little ratchet TV. It gets crazy out there. Now, like I said, I can watch a little useless TV. I just can't watch too much of it. Can't watch too much of it. And Keep the Faith with Tori says, not my cup of tea. Dig it. It's not for everybody. It really isn't. There's something out there for all of us. I don't mind. I don't mind. If somebody's out there making it, somebody's out there producing it, I'm looking at it from a behind the scenes view. I'm like, okay, well, somebody's got a job. Somebody's feeding a family. My hope is that the message that is being put out, people understand what they're watching. I feel like you need to talk to your young people and let them know that this is TV. This is not behavior that you should be modeling. And certainly I don't think that little kids should be watching it, but I know that teens are probably watching some of these things. So those are the conversations that you get to have with them. And believe it or not, some of the things that happen on Ratchet TV, if you have teens and you know that they're watching a particular show or you know that they're watching a particular podcast that you may not particularly like or quote unquote approve of, but because you can be all places all of the time and you shouldn't be hovering over them like a helicopter, you know that they're going to be doing and watching some things that you're unaware of. But if you do know that there's a particular show that they're watching, the good thing about it, this is a little thing, is that you have a conversation starter. So if there's something that happened in a particular episode and it's real crazy, but it can also be a teachable moment, and you've got a teen at an influential age, take it into a conversation. Take it into a conversation and don't be so judgmental about it, because it's already out there. They're going to see it. It's what they're talking about. It's what their friends talking about. And you too remember being in school. You remember. You wanted to know what's going on. You wanted to be in on the conversations. It didn't necessarily make you be or become something that you are not. It depends on your background. So take some of those moments to have conversations with them. I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, my son's still into video games, thank God, but don't know what he's doing when I'm not around. And you're not supposed to, because your mother didn't know everything that you were doing. Your parents, no one parent knows everything. We all know that. We all did things that they didn't know, and that's a part of life. We did some things, we made some mistakes, we've fallen, and they didn't know, and they still don't know. It's stuff you did, they still don't know. It's okay. But you are right? So you say your son is still in the video games, thank God. Well, I tell you what, people have careers with video games now. They're professionals who actually play video games. That is a real thing. Really. That's a real thing. And you know I'm right, Tori. See, look at Keep the Faith with Tori. She's like, yeah, I was that sneaky kid. Right. Any kid who has a parent who is overbearing, who is that hovering helicopter parent, they're the ones making their kids the sneaky kids. When you don't have to be sneaky, well, then listen, you just out here and you observing and you're seeing what's going on, and you're not necessarily being influenced by it in a negative way per se. If you do a little BS, which all kids do, it might be in a way that isn't, just detrimental to your health or your life or anything like that, but kids are going to do stuff. And when are you supposed to mess up? When are you supposed to do crazy things? Are you supposed to do it as a kid or as an adult? I would hope that you would do it in your younger years. I'd hate to see some grown folks out here doing, and we see it, some really crazy things. But think about that. That could be happening because they were living in environments where, they were being under the watchful eye of that helicopter parent. So take those little things. Take those little things. Let's see what Drunk says here. Drunk says, it's really more of ratchet social media than TV for me. I can scroll for hours, unfortunately. Sometimes I got to step back from it. Yeah, you're right. Listen, the ratchet on social media is crazy because it's like the short form content, right? It seems like these little videos, the TikTok videos and the reels, they might be a minute or 2 or 3 minutes. But if you're just watching one after the other, it becomes a cycle. And it can become habit forming. It can become an addiction. Social media addiction is a thing. There are people who are addicted to social media. They're always on there. And you have to ask this question. And I think this kind of ties back into what we're talking about today. What are they missing in their lives that they have to be scrolling online for hours? You want me to tell you what that is? Those little things. Those little things. The little pleasures in life. The little things like going to your local coffee shop. Okay, go by yourself. Have a cup of coffee. There's going to be people there. Have a cup of tea. You might have a conversation with someone. Go outside. Go in your lawn. Plant a garden. See, when you're doing those are things that you're doing without having a device in your hand, without being in front of a screen. Just sitting on your balcony, sitting on your front porch. That's a little thing. Calling your friend, talking. It is better to talk to a friend on the phone for a half hour or an hour than to just aimlessly scroll on social media for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. A little thing. That little thing. And it's better for you. Peace of mind. So embrace those little things. Know that they make a big difference. They make a big difference in your overall happiness, in your overall well-being. We're already caught up in the hustle and the bustle of our day, of work life, scrolling on our social media life, everything going on in the news. So what we're going to do? We're going to take those moments and we're going to take time to appreciate the small pleasures that bring us back to a sense of joy and back to a sense of gratitude. I want to thank everybody who took the opportunity to join me today. Thank you, Keep the Faith with Tori. Thank you, Drunk. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day. Always good to have you guys in the building. Always good to have good people in the building. So what we're going to do, you know what we're getting ready to do? Yeah. That's what we're getting ready to do. We're going to breathe this thing out and then we're going to go and enjoy the rest of our day. We're going to enjoy this weekend. We're going to do some of those small things this weekend. Go out. Look up at the night sky. Look at the stars. Look at the moon. Make sure you get a good night's rest. One of those little things that's so important to our health. Because that's when we heal. We heal when our body is at rest. So get some good sleep. And now we're going to breathe it out. We're going to inhale to the count of 4 and hold it a few seconds, and then we'll exhale, and we'll do that a few times. And we'll go back and enjoy the day. Let's go. Inhale to the count of 4. Exhale. Hold a few seconds. Inhale to the count of 4 again. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. And inhale one more time to the count of 4. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Put a smile on your face. Put a smile on your face. I know that feels great. I feel really, really good right now. I hope you do too. Happy Friday to everybody. If it's not Friday, if you're watching the replay, I want you guys to go ahead and hashtag replay so that I know you watched the replay. And if you're not following, or if you're not subscribed, make sure you take that time to subscribe. I'm at MsTonya TV, and you can find me here. I'll be here weekdays, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. That's my time, your time. All right, y'all? Make sure you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Poetry, lifestyle, media, 'cause that's what I do.